It's the Rob Carson Show. Are you ready to be pod smacked? Now, here's Rob Carson.
Here we are. How are you? Welcome to the show. Technically, episode number 144 of the Rob Carson Show podcast. Welcome. Glad to have you joining me. Had a great turnout last night. A really nice bunch of comments last night. A lot of shares and whatnot, and I appreciate it. I really do. So welcome. You know, we're going to make the most out of this tonight. Have a little bit of fun. Talk about the day's events, some of the absurdity of the day's events and whatnot. So anyway, come on in. Hang out in my groovy studio. It's good to have you here. For all of my friends in Maryland, Missouri, Kansas, Iowa, all over the place. Got a lot of people tuning in all sorts of areas of the country. So glad to have you here. And I'm watching the live comments from all of the pages. We've got about 5 Facebook pages going right now. And so I'm watching your comments. I think I need to add one more, and that is my personal Rob Carson Show page. No, we are on Rob Carson Show. We are Rob Carson, Deplorables Radio, and the Deplorables. Okay, we're cool. We are golden. Anyway, welcome. How was your day? How was your day today? Mine was pretty good. I'm going to be on KFAB in Omaha, Nebraska tomorrow. And it's exciting for me because Omaha, Nebraska is my hometown. It's where I was born, Clarkson Hospital. It is the market that I listened to when I was a kid. And it made me want to get into radio. And that's why I blame Omaha for all of my failings. But I am, it's going to be an honor to be on KFAB in Omaha tomorrow on the show. We're going to get into some stuff. I want to tell you about my sponsors real quick here. For those of you who have never tried chiropractic, and I tell you what, I'm a couple weeks overdue. My back is killing me, and the way I sit in my chair when I'm on the radio, when I'm on Facebook Live, I really, it's agonizing. I feel it. I have neuropathy in my hands. I have pain in my neck, and it's awful, and I can't wait to get to see Dr. Alex Nelson. Now, it's fountainoflifechiro.com, fountainoflifechiro.com. You're in the Kansas City area, 8335 North Congress Avenue, okay? 8335 North Congress Avenue, 816-741-4711, 816-741-4711. If you get a chance just to call him and say, hey, man, I heard Rob talking about you on his podcast. fountainoflifechiro.com. I got a buddy who also sells these wonderful zero-turning radius mowers that I've been telling you about. If you've been thinking about a zero-turning radius mower, you might want to consider Grass Monsters KC. Grass Monsters KC is spectacular. They make or they sell 2 of the greatest mower brands in the country. I see a lot of these around my neighborhood. Hustler Mowers, commercial operations. Hey, Rob Votal, what's up? And also Dixie Choppers. Let's talk about a Dixie Chopper tonight, shall we? Look at the Classic. Classic is an industrial mower, has an up to 72-inch deck. All right, now this is if you have a large, my father-in-law had a very large 4-acre yard. He had a 72-inch deck mower. Now, if you don't need something this big, obviously you want to go with one of the commercial or one of the residentials like the Z2. Okay, the Z2, still built like a brick excrement house, 54-inch deck max. Things are beautiful, and they're made in Indiana. Hustler Mowers, made in Kansas. They sell them there. Look at that, 4-year, 400-hour warranty on the Fast Track. That is a light industrial mower, okay? You can use that in your yard. There's the Raptor Limited. Look at that, 3-year, everything covered. American-made mowers that absolutely kick butt. GrassMonstersKC.com, 5520 Raytown Road, Raytown Mow. All right, let's get into some of the day's event. Hello, Ryan. How are you? Welcome to the show. Ryan, my friend. Mike is joining us. Ron, Michael John Roach. What's up? How you doing? And Robert Landon Roach. Hello. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. A couple political stories I want to get into real quick. So Anthony Scarramuchi escorted off the White House property, apparently. And this, I think, it comes from the fact that Trump's new chief of staff is a general. I mean, he's a general. He's a badass. John Kelly is now the chief of staff. He was displeased over Scarramuchi's lack of discipline. Don't mess with a military general. Apparently, a CBS White House recorder, Jackie Alameni, said that he was escorted off the White House grounds today after, well, it was 2 days ago. Jeff Gibbons, Jeff? How you doing, duder? Shamrock, what's going on? Rob McPherson, good to have you again here as well. Jeff, I hope you're doing well, man. Hope you and your lovely are doing very well. Anyway, he was removed, probably given a, one of those plastic milk cartons with his belongings in it, or a box of paper. Apparently, the New York Times reported the decision to remove Scarramuchi came at Kelly's request. President Donald Trump was reported to have given Kelly full authority upon him assuming the reins of day-to-day operations, and he got rid of Scarramuchi. Scarramuchi went on a profanity-laced tirade with New York Magazine's Ryan Lizza, and it was not appropriate. It was not appropriate. Here is Sarah Huckabee Sanders, and by the way, she needs nothing personal against her. She needs an image consultant. She was wearing something today that somebody from Hee Haw in the 1970s would have been wearing. Here she is talking about Scarramuchi.
Look, the president certainly felt that Anthony's comments were inappropriate for a person in that position, and he didn't want to burden General Kelly also with that line of succession, as I think we've made clear a few times over the course of the last couple of days to several of you individually. But General Kelly has the full authority to operate within the White House, and all staff will report to him.
When you say didn't want to burden him with that line of success.
Okay. Basically, Anthony Scarramuchi's a dick. All right, there you go. I said it. He's just kind of a dick. He's a New York, whatever, unrelatable, rude, uncouth, whatever. And he needed to go. He needed to go. And listen, as much as I get it. Donald Trump is he's a work in progress. But Scarramuchi had to go. So John Kelly is in charge, and we'll see if Sean Spicer can get pulled away from Dancing with the Stars. Okay? So how do you feel about the military transgender ban proposed in a tweet last week by Donald Trump? How'd you feel about that? Well, apparently the admiral for the head of the Coast Guard, not too crazy about the idea. Hello, Rick Harrison. How you doing, man? Good to see you tonight here. How are the kids and everybody? And your lovely wife? We missed hanging in Maryland with you this year. Basically, he's saying that he's not going to ask them to leave. He's saying the transgendered people in the Coast Guard are cool. You want to know how many transgendered people there are on the Coast Guard? You want to guess? 13. There's 13 in the Coast Guard. He said he reached out personally to Lieutenant Taylor Miller, featured on the cover of the Washington Post last week. He said, if you read that story, Taylor's family has disowned her. Her family's in the United States Coast Guard, and I told Taylor, I will not turn my back. We have made an investment in you, and you have made an investment in the Coast Guard, and I will not break faith. So there's one branch of the military that's saying transgendered people are cool. And listen, I'm on defense on this. Defense. Okay. I'm on the fence on it. I don't think we have time to socially experiment when we've got North Korea to deal with. We don't have time for sensitivity training seminars. We don't have time for safe spaces in the military. All right. Those people who are already in the military, I think we need to deal with them that they are already in the military. And then we need to kind of reassess where we go forward as far as admission is concerned. All right, so you can be mad at me. I don't care. Be mad at me. That's perfectly fine. While you're being mad at me, I'm going to go ahead and play my official transgender military song here. Okay, it is "Oh Tranny Boy." Enjoy.
Oh, tranny boy, you cannot join the army.
Oh, no, no.
And tranny girl, you might think it's unfair. Air Force, Marines, and Navy don't need perverts. And guys with boobs, or women with a pair. So don't enlist if you are a transgender. We'll let you in if you are only gay.
Oh, gay, see, we settled that a long time ago.
Don't want weirdos to shame our military. Oh, tranny boy and a tranny girl, just stay away.
All right, there you go. Any excuse to play that parody.
Oh, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you very much. Yes. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Todd Barnhart, a college classmate of mine. Hello, Todd. Welcome to the show. In Kansas City, you asked me about a radio station the other day that I was possibly interviewing at, and you were right. We'll see what happens. I've got another interview tomorrow, by the way, and had a little nibble today. So we'll see what happens, guys. I want to thank you for your thoughts and prayers while I move forward to landing at a terrestrial radio station and then continuing what I'm doing here. Joe, hello, welcome, and Stephen Rains, what's going on? Welcome. Glad to have you here. Aaron, good to have you as well. Give me the thumbs up there. Rob, Margie, Cangelosi. By the way, if you get a chance to order a shirt or some politically incorrect swag from tpublic.com, conservatees, just look for it. See that website? tpublic.com/user/conservatees. That is my friend Sam Cangelosi and my politically incorrect swag line. Russia with Jan Brady. Hillary Clinton, calm down. She lost, he won, get over it. Got your safe space right here. You got a kid going to college in the fall. Might want to send him with a hoodie. The iconic Che Guevara design you see on so many book bags and whatnot in college. Nope. Murderous comedy douchebag, not a hero. He was also a homophobe, by the way. Proud climate change denier. You live in Kansas City. Kansas City! Because that's how you pronounce it. Kansas City. Veganism is an eating disorder. And it is. Because it's more about what you can't eat than what you can. You can't coexist when some want to kill you. Royals version of Kansas City. Kansas City. Check it out. And for those Prius drivers that have the bumper sticker that says war is not the answer, yeah, sometimes it is. Sometimes war is the answer. And that may be the case with North Korea. Limited engagement there. tpublic.com, conservatees, tpublic.com, conservatees, tpublic.com, conservatees. If you could help us out, order something, that would be so cool. That would be so cool. So Jill Stein was the Green Party candidate who got 0.005% of the vote in the last election. And she's saying that we need to stop demonizing North Korea. Right? She's saying that we are picking on North Korea. Basically, they're okay, but we are forcing them in to a nuclear conflict. Here she is.
Lived under the threat of war for decades now. They're really tired of it. They would like to move ahead by negotiating a peace treaty. And, you know, the demonization of North Korea is part of the run-up to regime change. We saw it.
Now, realizing that Kim Jong-il, his father, murdered wholesale political appointments, jailed generations of families. So if you were caught doing anything, it could have been eating grass, you know, but you'd throw your family in jail for generations, all right? And let's not forget what he did to the college student about a month ago who was sentenced for stealing a propaganda poster, all right? No sympathy for them.
In Iraq, we saw it in Libya. It's part of demonizing a government that we then want to exercise regime change on. And then what do we get? You know, look at our track record here. It's not so good. So we're supporting the South Korean people who are actually living with this problem.
Okay. I don't even know where to go with Kim Jong-un and North Korea and the threat of this guy launching ICBMs into the ocean. Today we find out that he could reach many spots in the continental United States. Something's going to have to be done. Here's Lindsey Graham, stop it, talking very tough about what we need to do to North Korea.
Every military expert says there is no good military option.
They're wrong.
That's on Today's Show, by the way.
There is a military option to destroy North Korea's program and North Korea itself. He's not going to allow President Trump the ability of this madman to have a missile to hit America. If there's going to be a war to stop him, it will be over there. If thousands die, they're going to die over there. They're not going to die here. And he's told me that to my face. And that may be provocative, but not really. When you're President of the United States, where's your allegiance lie? To the people of the United States. This man, Kim Jong-un, is threatening America with a nuclear missile.
Yeah.
President Trump doesn't want a war. The Chinese can stop this, but to China, South Korea, and Japan, Donald Trump is not going to allow this missile threat
Just to be clear, are you saying it's okay to use a military option that immediately endangers the lives of millions of people in that region?
I'm saying it's inevitable unless North Korea changes, because you're making our president pick between regional stability and homeland security. He's having to make a choice that no president wants to make. They kicked the can down the road for 20 years. There's no place else to kick it. There will be a war with North Korea over their missile program if they continue to try to hit America with an ICBM. He has told me that. I believe him. And if I were China, I would believe him too, and do something about it. You can stop North Korea militarily or diplomatically. I prefer the diplomatic approach, but they will not be allowed to have a missile to hit America with a nuclear weapon on top. And to allow them to do that is really abandoning Homeland Security.
Okay, that's Lindsey Graham talking tough. You know what, guys? I don't know what the answer is, because I'm not a foreign policy expert. But I have a kid who's turning 18 years old in November. And I don't want him to turn 18 in a time of war. Greg Hudson, hello. Kelly Martin, hello. Paul Rice, hello. Welcome to the show. We're not going to be all serious. I mean, I got a bunch of stuff I'm going to get to here, guys. So I want to thank you for joining me tonight, and welcome to my living room. Glad to have you here. As far as I just got a note from Rob Votaw, says, buy a shirt, get macro aggressive, with regard to my line of politically incorrect swag, which, by the way, we've got over 50 designs. I am just showing you a few of them here. tpublic.com, conservatees. All right. So for those of you who are in Omaha, Nebraska, tomorrow I will be on KFAB. Otherwise, you can stream it. It's very cool. A lot of people will follow me around the country depending on where I am. So it's really cool. Okay, I'm going to ask you this question. Did you hear about Hillary Clinton's new book title that's coming out in the fall? Did you hear about it? I want you to be funny, and I want you to write me in the comment. Okay, think about this. It's called What Happened. Her book is called What Happened. Her new book is called What Happens, a very personal look at her defeat. Hello, Chase Hayden. Welcome to the show. What should it be called? What should it be called? I thought my husband did a good job as president, but when I was running, I blew the job. Is that too much? My husband did great, but I blew the job. How about that? Is that good? I don't know. Just an idea. I thought Devil with the Blue Dress On might be another title for a Hillary Clinton book. Write me. Be creative. Be funny. Be creative and funny, like I said. And comment, what should Hillary Clinton's book be called? Yeah. All right. County fair in Wisconsin recently made the decision to ban the Confederate flag because it was offensive. The board of the Vernon County Fair decided to ban Confederate flags from being sold at the fair. Vice President John McClelland said it's a piece of our history, but someone got their feelings hurt, so we decided not to sell it. One resident, Mark Castle, this is in La Crosse, I guess is where they do the fair. Probably all sorts of deep-fried goodness up there. And I just don't have a lot of sympathy for people who claim that the Confederate flag is some important part of the heritage. I'm asking the board to be conciliatory to everyone in the community, even if there is one person negatively affected by this. I don't know. I can understand. The Confederate flag is a universal sign of total redneckism. For some, it means white supremacy, but I think more so it is some sort of independence. It is some sort of states' rights issue. I'm surprised they were still selling them in Wisconsin, to be quite honest, because I could see where some people might be bothered by it. I mean, come on, man. You know? And I'm all about freedom of expression, like in where I live in Kansas City. They're talking about moving Confederate monuments. And I said, don't get rid of Confederate monuments. You take them to where Confederate dead are buried. And there are 4 places in Kansas City where dead people who fought for the Confederacy are buried. And that's where you should put them. I don't know. Paul says that the Hillary Clinton book should be called What Should Have I Done? What should I have I done? I don't know, but she did everything wrong. How about don't suck as badly? How about don't be a bad candidate? I don't know if she could have helped it. Gary Saddlemeyer, oh my goodness, of KFAB, where I'm going to be on tomorrow. Gary, an honor, man. Really, really an honor to have you join me tonight. I've been listening to you all week. I've always been a big fan, so it is a really, really big deal. It is a really, really big deal to be on my hometown radio station, KFAB, Omaha. Can you tell that I grew up in Omaha, Nebraska? I'm going to get to a couple of other things that are pretty fun here pretty shortly. Funniest words, the funniest words that men and women like. You're going to like some of these. This is kind of funny. The 50 greatest bikini scenes of all time. One of them's not in it, and it's a big one. Chicago Cubs gave Steve Bartman a World Series ring, and some other stuff. On a slightly more serious note, we've got a major problem with opioid pain med addiction, and when people can't get it, they move on to heroin and fentanyl, and it is bad news. I saw a survey today that said 39% of the American people since 2015 have been prescribed opioid pain meds, and that's a problem. That is a major, major problem. And I would venture to say, of course, they're being overprescribed. I was at the dentist a few years ago, 4 years ago, and I had a tooth removed, and they gave me the strongest stuff. And I decided not to take it. I just said, no, I'm not going to take it, man. I think it was oxycodone. And I just heard the stuff is bad news. The stuff is bad news. And so I didn't. I did it. I sold it to the neighbor kids for $10 a pill. I thought that was the responsible thing to do. I said, you teenagers, you need your escape. I'm joking. I'm joking. I did not sell them to the neighbor kids. I ultimately, it's kind of funny. I took them to a grocery store where they were doing a police buyback, or not buyback. It was just they were giving you some tchotchkes for bringing by your expired opioid pain meds and other medication. So I took it to the grocery store, and I gave it to the police officers. Yeah, I don't know. I got a keychain or something. But I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't take it. I was like, the pain that I'm experiencing is not bad enough. All right? It was bad. There were some issues. But I ultimately decided not to take them. I don't know how to feel about this. More than 24 states, cities, and counties are suing the makers of prescription painkillers, claiming the industry misled physicians and the public about the risks of addiction. Okay? Those suits, which already filed, may pale in comparison to litigation. Now, had that the big tobacco lawsuits in the 90s. Remember that? So many fewer people are smoking. Well, actually, they are. But it's a big money grab by the states. It's a big money grab by the states. It's a gigantic money grab by lawyers. And they're the ones making all the money. My dad died of smoking-related illness in 1994. Didn't get a dime. We didn't bother getting involved because he knew that smoking was bad for him. He knew it, and he couldn't stop. He knew it since the 50s. He knew it was bad for him. Former Attorney General Grant Woods, who helped lead the state efforts to sue cigarette companies, says they promoted the ideas that doctors could prescribe these highly addictive painkillers as an effective way to manage chronic pain, and they knew better. All right? Now, who do you blame for this? Do you blame the drug dealers, the people selling those prescriptions, or the doctors? All right? Similarities between the tobacco company lawsuit and this, both manufactured a product they allegedly knew to be highly addictive but downplayed the risk to the public. Once hooked, states bore the treatment cost, the resulting public health epidemic. All right? And there are some people who really abused it as doctors. I think there's some shared blame here. One patient started with Vicodin. Got so addicted, he'd buy any type of opioid he could find. A doctor is the best drug dealer you can get. This is Angelino. Once he knew I had the cash, I could get anything. My first prescription was $300 and about $150 a week after that. And when one pharmacy started to get suspicious, he told me where to go. Well, whose fault is that? That's not the manufacturers of the drugs. That's the doctors. And that doctor sounded like she knew what they were doing. Regardless, we might think that this is not a big deal. And a lot of the times we look down our nose at junkies. We do. We look down our nose at junkies. And we look at them as people who are laying in an alley, who are scum of society. And it's becoming middle-class parents ODing on heroin in their cars while their kids in the car. Unbelievable. Another suggestion for Hillary's book, Confessions from a Delusionist. Okay, Brenna, very nice Brenna. Brenna also says, it's not my fault. Well, that's obvious. I mean, that is obvious. David Craig says, I fell and I couldn't get up. Well, they hauled her into a van there, David. And David, it's good to hear from you tonight. What should Hillary's book be called? Like I said, I would say something like, my husband did it, but I blew the job. when it comes to running for president. My husband did it twice, but I blew the job. I like that one. Or you could call it the blown job. Just, I'm just throwing these out here. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, they're going to call it what happened. I can't even believe this. Simon & Schuster say the Clintons' book will detail her loss with unprecedented candor. In the past, for reasons I try to explain, I often felt I had to be careful in public, like I was up on a wire without a net, Clinton writes in the introduction. Now I'm letting my guard down. She lays out how the 2016 election was marked by an unprecedented assault on our democracy by a foreign adversary, blaming Russia, by analyzing the evidence and connecting the dots. Hillary shows just how dangerous the forces are that shape the outcome and why Americans need to understand them to protect our values and our democracy in the future. Yeah, it's not my fault. Perfect title. Perfect title. Hillary takes you inside the intense personal experience of becoming the first woman nominated for president by a major party in an election marked by rage, sexism, exhilarating highs and infuriating lows, stranger than fixes and twists, Russian interference, and an opponent who broke all the rules. God, who's going to buy this? Clinton has written a number of books, most recently Hard Choices. I believe it was a working title on one of her husband's books. That was about her being the Secretary of State, Hard Choices. Stronger Together 2016, that she co-wrote with Tim Kaine. They sold 2,900 copies in the first book nationally. Wow. All right. James is on. Hello, James. Welcome. Glad to have you joining in tonight. This is something new that I've been doing for about 3 weeks. It is a nightly podcast. And I hope to continue doing this when I land a radio station gig, which I'm hoping will happen very soon. So it's kind of an interesting way to invite you into my living room. And I'm glad to have you here tonight. Are you willing to go to a vasectomy party for men? Men willing to spend a few $1,000s of getting brosectomies together at clinics that look more like club lounges. All right. So you're going in, you skip a work day for a day of booze, steaks, and prescription drugs. And you get together. There's this place near Washington, D.C. 2 guys, Rob Ferretti, Jeb Lopez, got together. They're married with children. And they got together and had a brosectomy. So you hang out, you have friends in a cushy setting of couches, snacks, big screen TV. Some clinics, top shelf liquor. I like this. I think this is great. We thought it was going to be painful, said Mr. Lopez, who described the procedure as feeling like the sting of a rubber band. After that, we were just laughing. I guess it was from the alcohol, but we had a great time. Hundreds of thousands of American men get vasectomies each year, according to the American Urological Association. Typically, the procedures cost about $500. Now they're starting to do it like club lounges. I think this is a great idea. My wife has been bugging me to get one for a while, and I've been very selfish about it. I have been very selfish about it, and I shouldn't be, because she had 2 babies. But I'm a wuss. All right? I am just a wuss. I'm a wuss. Sioux Falls, South Dakota. My mom lives there, by the way. Group of men called the Bloodstained Men walk around with a banner that says, circumcision is cruelty to boys. And what they do is they walk around wearing white pants with the stain down there. And they're going around protesting circumcising of little boys. They're going to be at Rapid City tomorrow. Apparently, this is the latest group of protest. And this is the next big, I guess, movement. I don't know. You know, I'm not going to go any further on this, because if I do, I'll reveal too much, and I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to have to let it be a secret. Oh, this is funny. And I have a feeling this is fake. And I could be wrong. An anonymous mother revealed on Facebook she used her breast milk to make brownies that were sold at a school bake sale. And she can't figure out why another mom is disgusted by her actions. I have a feeling this is fake. I have a feeling this is fake. Come on. And I'm gonna explain to you why it is fake, and you're gonna go, really? You knew that, Rob? You really knew that? The mother reportedly took to social media to ask advice on how she should deal with an understandingly angry mom who found out about the unexpected addition to the brownie recipe. And again, she said, I need some advice. I made brownies for my school bake sale that had breast milk in them. All right? I didn't have time to run to the store. Didn't think it was a big deal. Wasn't even that much. One of the other moms found out and are blowing it way out of proportion. I don't know what to do. Any suggestions? This is fake. Here's why it's fake. You want to guess why it's fake? Making brownies. She says she didn't have enough milk, so she added breast milk. Why is this a fake story? Come on. Come on, you guys. Why is it a fake story? You want to guess? You want to guess? Brownies don't require milk. You're making brownies. You don't need milk. You don't use milk in brownies. Even if I know this as a man, all right, I know you don't use milk in brownies. Brownies are made of flour, melted chocolate, lots of oil, lots of sugar, baking powder, maybe baking soda, and no milk. You don't use milk in brownies. So it's fake. Gentlemen, did you have a woman in your life who had your child? Did you ever accidentally or purposely try it? I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going there. You don't need to know. Oh, by the way, today was Rush Limbaugh's 30th anniversary on the radio as a syndicated host. I started writing for Rush right out of college in the early 1990s and wrote a lot of comedy for Rush until about 3 years ago and stopped doing that. And I will tell you, one of the greatest honors of my life to have my comedy heard by 27 million people every week. If you go to soundcloud.com, look for Rob Carson Show, you can hear a lot of my stuff there. And I may do an episode which just features 20 plus years of comedy that I wrote for Mr. Limbaugh. But happy anniversary to Rush. An honor and a privilege. The biggest thing that I got a comment today on Facebook, and I mean thousands of responses today. And hi, Diane. How are you? Diane Murphy, glad to have you here tonight. The biggest response that I got on social media today, and it went through the ceiling. Jerry Jones of the Dallas Cowboys, in response to Colin Kaepernick, said that if any of his players take a knee during the national anthem, they are done. They will no longer be a part of the team. Now, this is a very bright financial move for Mr. Jones, because there was a study last week that showed close to 20% of Americans stopped watching the NFL because of Colin Kaepernick. We take our patriotism very seriously. We do. And Jerry Jones said, nope. Said it last year, and he says, if you take a knee, you don't show respect, you don't stand during the national anthem, you even look the wrong direction, you don't raise your hand over your heart, you're done. You're done. We take our patriotism seriously. You stand for the national anthem, or you're done. You're done. Let's move on to some other stories that are a little bit lighter today. How does that sound? Covered North Korea. I'm done with that. Lindsey Graham. I am a comedy writer, among other things. Scientists have analyzed the 12 funniest words that make us giggle. These are English words, obviously. Funniest words that make us giggle. Psychologist, University of Warwick, named after Dionne Warwick, maybe, I don't know. Analyzed 5,000 randomly selected words, asked 800 participants to rate them on how humorous they found each word. Here they are. These are the funniest words. Now, they've changed a little bit since Warner Brothers cartoon days when it was Walla Walla, Cucamonga. Was it Albuquerque? Those are all funny words, Bugs Bunny cartoons. Those are fun. And listen, I write comedy. So if I'm writing a script for a comedy bit, I can tell you what words are going to be funny and what words are not going to be funny. Because I know it's math. It's what it's all about. Here's a bit I did for Rush. I decided to do a parody about all of the maladies that we have as people in the country. If you add up every day, and I always say, I never want to be as sick as the people who watch the nightly news, because every night you can't get a boner. You've got osteoporosis. You've got all this. I never want to be as sick as the people who watch the nightly news, because every night there's a new malady. You've got this disorder and this disorder. You've got a mental disorder. You got a physical disorder. If you add them all together, we should all have about a dozen things, right? So I wrote a parody about what do you do when you're fine? And there are some funny words in this. Enjoy it.
Everybody I know is being treated for something.
Do you feel left out?
My best buddy is bipolar. My kids have ADHD. My wife has adult anxiety.
Do you feel isolated?
I talked to psychologists, psychotherapists, even a psychic, but nobody could figure it out.
Looking for answers?
They all told me there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. I was crushed.
You might have disorder anxiety disorder syndrome caused by the realization that you are completely normal. Ask your doctor about Placebex or Nothing and All so you can have a syndrome to call your own. Placebex and Nothing and All. New from SmithKline Blarney.
Okay, there was funny words there. You know, there's a math to writing comedy. There's a math to writing comedy. What else do I have? Yeah, we'll wait on it. Funniest words. Are you ready for them? These apparently make us giggle, all right? And can I just say, as men, we never lose being a 14-year-old boy to some degree. Can we agree on that? But you know what's really funny? My son is almost 18 years old. My daughter is 12. My daughter loves scatological humor. She likes goofy words. My son does not. No. Will not participate in it. No. Now, my son will use coarse language. My daughter has never said a curse word in her life. Never said a curse word in her life. Weird, right? One likes the poopy humor. The other one can't do it as a boy. Yeah. But the boy can use all sorts of coarse language, and the girl will not say a single dirty word. You know? Here are the funniest words. You ready to start laughing? Huh? Booty. Booty. Booby. I'm only laughing because it's so stupid. Really? Booby? Booby? Okay. Hooter. nitwit, twit, waddle. Hello, Kathleen. How are you? You joined at a great time. We're getting very juvenile right now. Tinkle. Bebop. Bebop is funny. Okay. If you're a toddler. Egghead, ass, and twerp. Twerp. Those are the funniest for both sexes. All right? So those are the funniest words, supposedly. Words, I'll do the women first. The words that women thought were funny. Giggle. Beast. Circus. Grand. Juju. Humbug. Slicker. Sweat. Ennui. Ennui. E-N-N-U-I. Really? Holder, mama, and sod. Those are the ones that women thought were funny. Older people laughed more at squint, jiggle, burlesque, and pong. Younger people like words like goatee, joint, and gangster. Here are the words that men thought were funny. Orgy. Bondage. Birthmark. Buzzard. Czar. Prod. Well, this is kind of stupid. None of those words are funny. Here's a funny word. How about doofus? Right? How about doofus? How about duty? D-O-O-D-Y. See, those are almost funny words. Those are terrible words. What are some of the most overrated things? You think of all the things that are overrated in the country. BuzzFeed has put together a list of things that are overrated. Here are the things that people said that just don't match the hype. I'm going to have to disagree with some of them here. Pizza. No, pizza is not overrated. Pizza is a gift from God. It's number 10. Reese Witherspoon. She was really good in that Johnny Cash movie, and then my wife saw Sweet Home Alabama, and I wanted to kill myself. Going to brunch. Overrated. Love, overrated. No, it isn't. Love's all you live for. What the hell are you talking about? Love is the only thing you have when you die. That's it. Summer, overrated. There are days. Cats, hell yeah, cats are overrated. Taco Bell, shame on you. Taco Bell is not overrated. My son had a double chalupa the other day. Damn. Bacon, oh, that's just wrong. Bacon is not overrated. People who really pretend to like bacon, they're pretending to like bacon. People who really like bacon, they don't make a big deal out of it. People who want to like bacon because it's cool to like bacon, that's a different story. Avocados overrated. Yeah, they're not all that flavorful, but they're good on stuff. Porno's having a plot. Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know. I've never seen one. I've never seen porno. What is that? What is a porno? I don't even what. What is that all about? Yeah. New Year's Eve. Yeah, New Year's Eve is overrated. New Year's Eve is overrated. All right? It's another day. All right? It's another day. If it's on a Sunday night into a Monday, it's still a Sunday night into a Monday. New Year's Eve, I'm kind of done with New Year's Eve. I'm done. I finished being out on New Year's Eve 20 years ago because my boss made me work New Year's Eve at a stupid hotel party for a radio station. And they always suck. Number one on this list, The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. I don't watch them so well. I don't know. This is kind of funny. Some people just need to lighten up. Every once in a while you have these studies that come out. And I heard a study today that your dish towel, your sponge in your sink is full of so much bacteria you're going to die. And I'm like, nobody's died from the dish towel in the bathroom sink. No, nobody has died from it. It's gross. Don't get me wrong. It's gross. It's gross. My wife has one of those towels, and her grandmother made these, and they have it's a towel, and it's got a crocheted piece over it. It has a button, and you hang it on your stove, and you leave it there for a week, and you wipe your hands on this rag. I don't like it. I never have liked it. I think they're gross. Blowing out a birthday cake, the candles, leads to a 1,500% increase in bacteria on the cake. Dun, dun, dun. Study found out at Clemson University, somebody blows out the candles on a birthday cake and increases the amount of bacteria on the cake by an average of 15% or 1,500%. And in some cases, the amount of bacteria can increase 14,000%. However, the researchers say your chances of getting sick are pretty low. All right? So if the person celebrating a birthday is a little sick, you probably won't want to have them blow out the candles. All right. Got a couple more stories I want to share with you. Hold on. Let me find. Oh, yes. I'm going to get to that. This is study came out that talked about the greatest bikini scenes of all time in movies. Greatest bikini scenes of all time in movies. Princess Leia, Return of the Jedi, they have it at number 24. This is unbelievable to me. This is Mr. Skin put together this list. Bo Derek made number 41 for her appearance in Tommy Boy. She didn't do it in the movie 10 because it wasn't a bikini. Wasn't. Here they are. Number 10, Ursula Andress, Dr. No. Salma Hayek, From Dusk Till Dawn. Oh, yeah. Brooklyn Decker, Just Go With It. Jessica Biel, Summer Catch. Gal Gadot, Fast Five. I'll have to check that out. She's Wonder Woman. Phoebe Cates, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Oh, almost killed me. I was in high school. Kelly Brooks, Survival Island. Selena Gomez, Vanessa Hudgens. Ashley Benson in Spring Breakers. Kate Upton, The Other Woman. And Jessica Alba, number 1, Into the Blue. Greatest bikini scenes of all time. From the people who always take everything fun out of everything, the Center for Science and the Public Interest, they talk about the fattiest, most caloric, and all-around unhealthiest dishes in the country. All right? So they looked at chains like Buffalo Wild Wings, Chili's, IHOP, Uno, Pizzeria Chicago. Biggest winner was the Cheesecake Factory. You know, here's the deal. Moderation in all things and occasionally to excess. That's my mantra, all right? So if you want to have something really big and fatty, you make up for it the next day. Cheesecake Factory's pasta napoletana, a plate of Parmesan cream pasta topped with meatball, sausage, pepperoni, and bacon. I'm getting hungry. 2,300 calories, 4,300 milligrams sodium, 79 grams of saturated fat in one serving. That's on the top of the list, all right? IHOP has the least original breakfast, awarding its cholesterol-laden cheeseburger omelet as one of the winners. Dave & Buster's worst original appetizer category with its cheeseburger pizzadilla, a cheeseburger pizza quesadilla hybrid, and Chili's ultimate smokehouse combo meal, which comes on a big tray. Yeah, sometimes you gotta enjoy it, right? Sometimes you gotta enjoy it. Have a little bit more than you probably should. Oh, this is kind of interesting. Steve Bartman, 14 years ago, kept the World Series curse alive by interfering with the catchable foul ball. You remember that guy? Can't believe it was 14 years ago. The Chicago Cubs gave him a ring after his long suffering. Here are the fans talking about him getting a ring.
I think he should have been burned at the stake. Never forgive, never forget.
He deserved it for what he went through. That was unnecessary. That was low class by our long-suffering fans, and he deserves it.
I think he should get a World Series ring. Yeah. I think he's gotten a lot of pressure and a lot of bad press from all of that, which I don't think necessarily should have happened.
I was angry at him too at first, but then I would have done the same thing probably. So
yeah, and you know what? Honestly, you probably would have done the same thing. Hello, Jonathan Elias. How you doing, man? My buddy, my friend from Minneapolis who did TV up there when I was doing radio up there, who I believe is in Washington, D.C. Jonathan, good to see you. You're looking good on TV, brother. Looking good to see you on TV. Here is a news anchor talking about the statement from the Cubs about Steve Bartman getting a ring.
On behalf of the entire Chicago Cubs organization, we are honored to present a 2016 World Series championship ring to Mr. Steve Bartman. We hope this provides closure on an unfortunate chapter of the story that has perpetuated throughout our quest to win a long-awaited World Series. While no gesture can fully lift the public burden he's endured for more than a decade, we felt it was important Steve knows he has been and continues to be fully embraced by this organization. After all he's sacrificed, we are proud to recognize Steve Bartman with this gift today.
All right. Yeah, the guy suffered a hell of a long time. I mean, could not show his face in public. Chicago, long suffering, trying to get a World Series. And this poor guy just grabs a ball. You're not paying attention. You're not a pro baseball player. He immediately disappeared from public life. Got a lot of death threats. He repeatedly declined the team's attempts to make amends, turned down tickets, appearances, other recognition. He even turned down a Cubs team invite to be part of their World Series celebration. But he did take the ring. So, you know what? Good for him. Finally, one other story, just something to leave you with to think about, because I'm a Simpsons fan, and there is a new documentary out called The Problem with Apu. Did you know about this? Now, I hate political correctness. But there are some Indian Americans, including the director of this documentary called The Problem with Apu, that says that Apu from The Simpsons is very racist. And there was a time when you could be deliberately offensive and nobody lost their head over it. Apu was originally meant to be deliberately offensive. It made it funny. It's over the top. Everybody knows that not all Indian American immigrants are like Apu managing a convenience store. But there are some stereotypes. Here's a little bit from the trailer, The Problem with Apu.
I hate Apu. And because of that, I dislike The Simpsons. The whole series. Yeah. I love The Simpsons because you hate yourself. My name is Hari Kondabolu. I've had a great career filled with laughter, critical acclaim. I should be completely happy, but there's still one man who haunts me. Apu Nahasapima Pedalon.
Please pay for your purchases and get out and come again.
The Simpsons stereotypes all races. The problem is we didn't have any other representation. Cabby, deli. Doctor.
You know that a white guy does the voice?
A white guy doing an impression of a white guy making fun of my father.
How do you feel about that?
Oh, I'm making a movie about how much I dislike it.
Right away, they were like, can you do an Indian voice and how offensive can you make it?
Yes.
I would immediately begun to talk this way. I was like, it's not tremendously accurate. It's a little stereotype. Like, that's all right.
They want the accent to sound like this, and they want your tongue to be really pulled back.
Okay. Simpsons stereotypes everybody. Mr. Burns is a stereotypical greedy corporate owner. Homer is a stereotypical dad. Everybody on that show is a stereotype. Barney the drunk, stereotypical out of work drunk white guy. Everybody on the show is a stereotype. Get over it. Just get the hell over it. Not representing you as a society or a culture. Get over it. Some stereotypes are true for a small group of people. It doesn't mean that everybody in the group is that. Right? I am a stereotypical dad. Right? I have 2 kids. There are some things that I do are very dad-like getting up in the middle of the night and stubbing my toe on the end table and cursing. I have power tools. I like to drink beer. I'm a stereotypical dad to some degree. Get over it. Lighten the hell up. Before I go, please check out my line of T-shirts and other swag. tpublic.com, look for Conservatees. tpublic.com, Conservatees. We've got a lot of cool stuff. Like, as I've said, sometimes war is the answer. We're going to find that out with North Korea, I guess, right? You live in Kansas City, Royals version. You can't coexist when some want to kill you. All of this available on T-shirts, on hoodies, on onesies, on laptop cases. Veganism is an eating disorder. Sorry, it is. Kansas City Chiefs version. Proud climate change denier, everybody. Do-do-do. All right? Got your safe space right here. These are some of the politically incorrect swag line. And listen, we've got some stuff that's not political on there as well. There's some D.C., Maryland-centric stuff. There's some Kansas-centric, Missouri-centric, and all that stuff. So check it out again. Look at my graphics. tpublic.com, Conservatees. And also want to thank my sponsors locally in Kansas City. FountainofLifeChiro.com, Dr. Alex Nelson, thank you for your support. You have helped a lot of people, first responders, athletes, with chiropractic adjustment, electrical stimulation, and other things. I cannot vouch enough for this doctor. He does a great job. Decompression for herniated low back discs. Dr. Alex Nelson, FountainofLifeChiro.com, 816-741-4711, 816-741-4711. GrassMonstersKC.com for incredible mowers like the Dixie Chopper, made in Indiana. Boom! Zero Turnius. The Fast Track, made in Kansas. All of these mowers, they've got whole bunch of different varieties from residential to industrial. 5520 Raytown Road, Raytown Mow, GrassMonstersKC.com. The audio. Hello, Paul Chappa. Good to see you, brother. I'm getting ready to sign off, unfortunately. The video to this is available right here on this Facebook page. No matter what you're watching, if it's Rob Carson Show, Rob Carson, Deplorables Radio, or The Deplorables, you can see the video right here. It will be here for a while. And then you can also hear it. Just go to iTunes, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Google Play, Google Plus, Audio Boom, SoundCloud, all at Rob Carson Show. All right? For all of you who joined me, Kathleen, Jonathan Elias, good to see you, man. I'm unshaven tonight, whatever. Paul, Greg, Todd, Joe, Rick, Margie, Rob, Mike, Joel, Ryan. The list is just crazy. If you would share my message on Facebook with others so we can get to the point where we're downloading enough downloads to pay the bills, I would be eternally grateful. In the meantime, I'll just say God bless. Have a great rest of your Tuesday evening, and we'll see you here tomorrow night, same time, same place.
Thanks for listening to The Rob Carson Show. Friend him on Facebook at Carson Show, on Twitter at Rob Carson, and on Instagram, I think Facebook and Twitter are enough for now. We'll see you soon.